That's a fish. That's a big fish. That's right in the sticks too. Oh, you cheeky little bass. You cheeky little fella. Well, the water is well down on where it was just a short week or so ago last time I was here. It does quickly rise and fall in these small systems. But what you don't know is where the fish are hiding. So I'm just going to slowly work my way through these narrows, do a bit of casting. Even though it's quite shallow, you just never know what might be hiding. You don't want to go like a bull at a gate and spook anything that might be kicking back in the currents. It's always worth a cast or two. Worst thing that can happen is you get your eye in early. So that when the time does come to have some casts with serious intent, you're ready, you're dialed in. Oop. I think that answers our question. So now instead of casting up the middle, I'm casting more towards the edges, because in this shallower water that we're now seeing, that's likely where the fish are going to be holding, closer towards the safety and the cover that they'll get with that fringing grass. But just because I'm casting to the edges and the fringing grass doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore casting targets like a snag. And now that the water is down more, I can appreciate why that bass was here last week. There is quite a degree of underwater structure just in this little pocket. So it's always good to see your systems, be it saltwater, freshwater, whatever, at various degrees of either water level in the fresh or tide in the salt. Get an idea of where the fish live and where they might live. Just waiting for that moment when a hole in the water just opens and my lure just disappears. It's worth all the casts when it happens. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but looking back on it, when it does, you know that it is. There we go. I was just contemplating whether to change off this lure. I thought it might be a bit big and a bit noisy for these little creek bass. I had just picked it up actually, and I was thinking, nah, I'll give it a few casts. Last time I was here, a noisy dark lure did the job for me coming into the late afternoon. Been casting the frog around, and as great a lure as it is, just because a lure does the job for you once, or often, doesn't mean it's going to do the job for you all the time. So sometimes you just got to work out what they want. Oh, there he goes. That's alright. I got what I wanted. He was going to get let go anyway. I got that hit. That's what it's all about. Feel the drag singing. A noisy lure for the win. Oh, and again. had 2 goes. Is he going to come back for a 3rd crack? Oh, that's a fish. That's a big fish. That's right in the sticks too. I'm going to be lucky to get this one out. Right in the sticks. Right in there. Just got to keep the pressure on. Try and stay calm. Let him drag me in there. Think my way through this. I can see him. I've worked my way around all of the sticks that I can see. Now I've just got to bring him to the net. Whoa. Not as big a fish as I thought from the hit, but oh yeah, he's a good fish. Oh yeah, he's a good fish, and a heavy fish too. Look at that for a lovely creek bass. I'm never going to get sick of that. That's just wonderful. He took a liking to that finesse frogs right up in this little pocket here. You can see the froth where he's attacked it. I'm going to check the lens because he's just sprayed me with some water, and then we're going to try and get him unhooked and released. So there he is. About 40 centimetres or 37 to the fork of beautiful creek dwelling, snag living, hard hitting, frog munching Australian bass. That little TT Chinlocks did a great job. It wasn't coming out. I just had to take my time, get him out of all of those snags. Give him a nice little drink before he goes on his way. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? See you, mate. How good is it? So, I'd been throwing the frog plenty already in this short little session, and the hits that I'd been getting, I was getting on the noisy lure, but just because of the territory that I was throwing it into, I couldn't throw it in there. So I reverted back to the frog, and horses for courses. You know, you've got to throw the lure in there that's suitable. And it came through with the goods. They take a lot of beating, or eating, as the case may be. Oh, you cheeky little bass. You cheeky little fella. On the short cast. Right there. Just slapped it on the water. Just a little short arm jab cast. Thought maybe there's something in that little pocket. And there he was. Wow. Sometimes you want your lure to hit the water softly, and sometimes you want it to make a commotion. That time, I wanted it to draw attention. So I only had a short while to whine, and there he was. That's cool. That is really cool. I hope he came through on the video really well too. Let's have a look at him. There we have another lovely, healthy creek bass. Taking that little frog. And once again, not too many other types of lures that you can find that you can fish in that way. Topwater. short cast, slapping it on the surface, and just a few turns of the handle, and old mate here, he just couldn't get enough. That chin lock's right in the corner of the jaw. Yep. See you, mate. Okay, light's getting low. This is when I'd expect them to start firing up, but I've had a fairly good run through most of this session already, and I'm going to be covering ground where I've already been finding active fish, so unless I can find some fish that haven't seen my lures, or perhaps ones that just get switched on by this time of night, it might not run to plan. It might be a quiet trip back to the car this time. I hope not, but I'm sort of asking for my cake and wanting to eat it too today. I had good action on the way out, whereas last time it was fairly slow. Well, I don't think he'll be back. I think he felt the hooks. There we go. Finally got one to stay on the hook. Feels like a solid fish too. He's getting back into that undercut bank and he doesn't want to come back out. Come on, buddy. Come on, out you come. Come on, out you come. Yeah. Gee, they go hard. They don't even need to be big fish. They just give everything they've got in just that short fight. Oh, thanks for the splash, Mr. Bass. And you're in the net. Thanks, mate. Let's get that hook out of here. There we go. See you, buddy. Well, I'm not sure how much light is left that the camera can pick up, but even if I don't catch any more fish today, I think I can well call today's adventure a success. I've really enjoyed it, caught some great fish, had a good time, got out in amongst nature, and that's what it's about. Any fish from here on will just be a real bonus. There we go. That's the fish that I missed on the way out. Found him on the way back. Shallow, shallow water. Lots of structure. Can I get him out? Can I? Oh, thanks for the face full. Yes, I can. Thank you, buddy. Oh, there's my bonus fish. bonus fish for the win.